Welcome once again to This Old Haunted House. I'm your host, Dean Haglund, and this week, holy smokes, we are in Winchester, Indiana, at a glorious Second Empire home called the Stone Mansion, and the owners are here with us now. It's Dan, Tim, and Rich. Gentlemen, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Very, very good. Now, I realize this, again, is a purchase by your nonprofit organization called Saving These Old Properties, right?
Correct.
The STOP, stop. And this is now your third purchase or your fourth?
Fifth.
Fifth. Oh my gosh. Tell me a little bit about this. I can't believe this glorious place with a mansard roof was slated for demolition.
It wasn't quite slated for demolition, but a few more years of neglect that it was receiving, it would have been in a few more years.
That's such a tragedy. Well, I'm glad you guys have it now. So give me a little bit of the history of this place. It built in 1872, just after the Civil War, Tim?
It was started in 1868 and it was finished in 1871, but there was a house that sat up in the front of right up in front of the property they built the houses, the row houses right beside. They brought them in they bought them out of a catalog, brought them in on the train, built those houses first, and then they picked the house up that was in the front and moved it to the corner of Orange and Main, and then they proceeded to build this house. And in the whole process, it went from building those houses from 1868 to 1871, and then it was finished. And that's when they moved in here.
Wow.
And they built across the street to house the carpenters and the laborers as such, so them would be right across the street.
Them and their families that they lived over there.
Oh wow! So wait, they relocated all the labor into houses custom built for them, so that they could come and build the stone mansion.
Yes.
Wow.
They were catalog built.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sort of like the Sears houses of the 1930s, right? Same idea. Yeah. It's just numbered. You attach like a Lego thing, and it's all built.
Basically, yeah.
I wonder. Yeah.
That's great. So, and those houses are still existing too in Winchester?
One was moved a block away, but they're all intact. Some of them are kind of bad shape, but I don't know if we can acquire them before a couple of them are demoed or not.
Wow.
It would be not. I would think they'd be a historic house, either Sears or Montgomery Ward catalog.
When I was talking to one of the owners that owns two of them, and he says on his deed, it says 1904, because I guess that's when they start registering them, but they were built in 1968.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And so what do we know about this General Stone? I never heard of him before.
General Stone and his wife Lydia were both born in 1817, and he was born in Hamilton County, and she was born in Ohio. And she was born in Cincinnati. They got married in 1837, and then that's when they moved over here. His father's name was Ezra, and he taught him how to be a contractor carpenter.
Oh.
And then that's when General Stone, his wife Lydia, well, his name was Ashel. That's when Ashel and Lydia and his brother and her brother moved over here. And then he started building houses, and then he started getting a good reputation, and he started accumulating a lot of money. And that's when he got into city government, but his brother and everybody was still building houses. He got into the city government, and then he got into state government. Oh. And then when the Civil War started, since he was a senator, he automatically became a general. And then his brother, neither one of them had any military training. His brother became a general also.
They just handed that without ever picking up a gun?
The governor of Indiana made him a general, yes.
Brigadier.
A brigadier did it. And did he see conflict? Did he go out into the...
He was the merchant general. His brother did see conflict, but he was a purchasing general. He would get stuff and send it out, and he was in charge of the bakery and a few other things. But during the whole time of the Civil War, he profited $158,000 just on a bakery.
Wow.
Now, he did go visit his troops in the field, but he didn't lead any commands for battle.
Right. But still, that's pretty profitable for a bakery during the Civil War.
Rich and I figured it up as around $2 million.
Wow.
So we're going to start a bakery here right after this too.
Yeah. Do you know how much the original cost of the house was for?
It was like $36,000, somewhere around there.
Yeah, today's figure 1.7 million.
Yeah.
Just to build it.
That's phenomenal. And then they lived there the rest of their lives, kind of thing. Is that sort of?
They moved in when they were in their 50s, and he died in 1891. Okay, and she died a year and a half later.
Oh.
And when he died, he willed it to his wife, and then when she died, I have everybody that has bought this house. I have it in the back room.
Oh wow! So you have the whole list, and I think I saw that list because somebody tried to turn that into a restaurant.
In 1985, the summer porch that was on the back, summer kitchen, was tore off, and they built the addition that's back there in 1985, and the restaurant that was the whole kitchen area. You could eat in any room you wanted in here.
Oh.
And the restaurant lasted almost 2 years. It was caviar taste on bologna budget around here.
So he was too fancy for the neighborhood, or was it too expensive to run?
Too pricey.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah. I imagine. Yeah. So now tell us how much disrepair. I mean, let's start with our mechanicals. Any heating or air conditioning? Was there vents, floor vents, anything like that?
No.
We do have heat down in the basement, and on this floor we can warm it up, but it's not going to be 70, 80 degrees in here for heat. And during the summer, it's hot.
Well, this year we won't put a furnace in. The previous owner took out the steam boiler, all the registers, unfortunately, and just dug a hole and buried it in the yard.
No, he didn't. What? Cast iron radiators and a steam boiler is in a hole?
Crushed them up and buried them out in the yard. Yeah, where a tree had fallen. It took a lot of root ball with it, so he just filled where the root ball was and with all the debris. It's still here.
But it's all broke up.
Anybody want to piece it together for us?
yeah. Let me just get my welding gear. I'll come on over. That'll take the rest of my life.
Live in this era is that we can get CNC machines to redo some of the, say, lost trim that's irreplaceable.
Right.
And we can do 3D printing. So we're living in an area that we can put the house back together as it was without having to use all these skilled carpenters of the day.
I don't even think the carpenters now could do what they did back then.
Yeah, it was a whole different skill set.
Yeah.
They won't rush. And that's today everything's, get it done and
deadline.
Yeah, now do 2 weeks. Nowadays, if you don't have the drywall done in a week, you get fined. And this here is plaster and lath, horsehair plaster. It probably took almost a year to do.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
And did I also read that there's 6 Carrara marble mantelpieces in that house still intact?
Yeah. 5 of them still intact. 1 is not. We have all the pieces in the back room for it.
Yeah.
Which is very common because the heat differential on Carrara marble makes it shatter. So it's very uncommon to have it as a fireplace mantle. How did they stay intact so well?
I think they did a very good job to begin with. I don't know if marble doing that, maybe from extreme hot to extreme cold, but I haven't heard, at least in Indiana, marble deteriorating for that reason. Usually water will deteriorate them if they're unpolished, but
right.
The heat and cold, they seem to hold up pretty well.
Oh, that's good.
The only time we could get marble back then, the only place you could get it was over in Italy, the same marble same quarry that Da Vinci got his out of.
Yeah, Michelangelo too, right? That's the statue of,
Yeah.
statue of David is Carrara marble. It's the famous single piece with no marbling, no veins through it.